Heavily dressed. This one on power. Hard to see. Good. All right, let's go. Some ice skating going on. It is 6 or 7 degrees Celsius today. The sky clears, making the late afternoon trip looking much better. But a clear sky also means early cold when the sun sets. Do I need fuel with 3 bars? No. Am I going to refuel now? Yes. And when we're riding again, I'm gonna tell you why. Watch out, the guy in a black car without lights. They still exist. Okay. Here it is why I refuel. I had half of a tank left, what was 300 kilometers. That is actually enough. But tomorrow it will be very good weather again. So I'm fueled for the entire weekend, no matter how I ride, where I ride. And that's the same thing. There's a general idea of this. I'm not sure where I'm going to ride, what I'm going to do. I have planned a tour east of the IJssel Lake. I can't see the light. The sun is exactly under the light. I could have done this trip easily on the remaining fuel. But now I'm done fueling for the weekend and I can ride what I want. I don't have to mind any fuel tanks. I can pick the scooter up tomorrow without refueling and riding for the whole day. And tomorrow the weather should be, well, a little bit like we have now, a few degrees hotter. So if that forecast is correct, then I can simply dress up, gear up, pick the scoot and go. And frankly, is it fuel anxiety? No, not really. I already tried him out. I can do a 600 kilometer on it. I could easily do a trip around the Frisian border. Not a problem at all. But it's also a habit. Every motorcycle I had in the past, I did the same thing. When I go on a trip, fuel up, starting with a full tank. And what do we have? We have 1,310 kilometers now. Just went to 1,311. This is the fourth time this Scoot is fueled, and I bought him with a full tank of fuel. The dealer had filled it up, and this is the third time I have refueled the Scoot. But if I maxed it out, I would still riding on. No, not I was still riding on the third tank of fuel, included the one I got with buying the Scoot. And then just on the first liter, maybe a liter and a half. I show you the sky. He went. I not always notice that. It means that this one has to be turned a little tighter. There's a lot of movement in the camera, by the way. Too much to my liking. But somehow the camera can deal with it. Almost everything is smoothed out. In the future that camera will be mounted on a rally tower, just peeking around the front window, the windshield, that plastic thing. I'm fully geared up, which means included the balaclava, bank robbery mask, actually bank robbery cath, and electric shocks, but I don't have them on. My feet are very slightly chilly now, but I keep it for later on the trip when my feet really get cold, and then I switch on the electric shocks. Every time I'm amazed how easy this Sim ADX 125 picks up speed. I really have to keep an eye on the speedometer, because she's slowly running away. I have to learn to get the feel of it. And I am almost 2 meters tall, 6 foot, what is 6'5", something like that. I weigh 110 kilo. So with that, it's quite amazing. I mean, I'm not the guy sitting on it, I'm a sail. And the first hasty guy is behind us. A van, of course. People with fans believe they're riding a Formula One car. At least a lot of them. The ice is gone in the channels. It's about a week and a half after the previous trip, which I have ridden with only 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. Actually, I'm still breaking in. Officially it's 500 kilometers, I pick up a 1500. But I'm riding on higher speeds for longer durations now. It's the last part of breaking in. And this road has a lot of speed changes. It's ideal for the last part, and then we will pick a few highways with 100 kilometers for about 30 minutes, and actually then we can just go full throttle everywhere. And for some mysterious reason, I tend to speed every time on this scooter. And maybe that is muscle memory. Somehow. That I somehow, far in my brain, as far as I have a brain, when you're riding on 2 wheels in winter and even in almost freezing temperatures, I mean 1 or 2 degrees, do you have a brain anyway if you do that? And just for fun, not because I have to. So that's the point of discussion. But I think that I somehow waiting for that power surge the Husqvarna has, that kicks in, and then I know, hey, he pulled on my arms this hard, I ride this speed, and now he pulls on my shoulders a little harder, I ride that speed. On a Husky I feel how fast I ride. And this is of course 12 horsepower compared to the 60 of the Husky. And to complete the tech story, 12.5 horsepower on a 152 kilo machine compared to 60 horsepower on a 140 kilo machine. That's the Husqvarna. So the power kick will never come. Another thing with the Husqvarna is it's a big single thumper. And at certain speeds it gives certain vibrations in the handlebars as well as the footrests. Because the footrest of the Husqvarna, being a former competition machine, are made of steel and are directly connected to the frame, no rubber whatsoever. And this one has an awful lot of luxury compared to that. And from what I have understood from different videos, comparisons of several scoots, the ADX has still a little bit of a rough ride compared to the Cruise Sim, the Sontes, but it's a terrain machine. There's a light vibration in the ADX which is caused by the terrain tires. But the vibration is nothing compared to the Husqvarna. Nothing. The Husqvarna, sitting on the Husqvarna, riding the Husqvarna, it's a deal beep no compared to here, to the Shima DX. But the two are of course very hard to compare. Totally different machines. But for now it's the only I have to compare. And behind me a guy with a black car without lights. I don't know how it is in other countries, but in a country like the Netherlands, I hear a signal, just like a camera stopped. Which is nearly impossible, but I have to check. We're still running. So it probably is the telephone for some reason. Maybe the telephone shut down. Could be possible. Who cares? No, my camera on the helmet is not loose and sunk away to the side or turned. I'm using the sunshade on the helmet. Is it called that? That big flap thingy plastic part on top of the helmet? It's a sunshade. To come back to my story of lights and cars, especially in winter, the winds, the high winds are coming from the north. It's very clean sky, no moist, no dust, So the sunlight is very, very sharp, very bright, and I'm using that helmet now to keep my eyes in the dark. Otherwise the only thing I see is a light. And exactly that makes it so dangerous to drive a motorcycle or a car or a moped whatsoever without lights. And people tend to say, but hey, I can see it very well, I can see it very clear, I can see everybody on the road. But can someone else see you? And if a black or dark grey or dark green, dark blue car comes from under the sun, as we turn through this corner here, when we went around the bend, and here it comes. It's all light now in my face. So tilting my head forward, I block a lot of light, I see it a lot better now, I can see the road a lot better. But someone riding with a no motocross helmet, not with a big sunshade on top of it, he can do this. So he has to deal with that light. And a dark vehicle coming from the other side on this dark road become nearly invisible. The same situation with these bright winter lights. When a vehicle comes under a line of trees, it's darker there, your eyes are very much closed with this sharp light, you're riding in a black hole, almost literally. You don't see what's coming there, even not light colored cars. And that people are riding without lights in these weather conditions, I always tend to think these are the kind of people who has very low mileage. Otherwise, everyone being in that situation once, that a car pop up in front of you and you never saw that car. Everyone who's doing the miles must have been at least once in that situation. This darker part, for example, this shadow, black car without lights, completely invisible. This is freshly laid asphalt, and now I have a bright light in the sky and a mirror on the ground. Hallelujah. Show yourself, people, in actually always have your lights on. Always. Day, night, beautiful weather, overcast, doesn't matter, always have your lights on. Ah, I can't even see the traffic light at the left of me. Oh. no clue why I went that wide. Stupid. I could as well refuel here. This is also one of my spots to refuel. By the way, am I the only guy who dislike unmanned fuel stations? I hear the squeak, but I didn't know if it come from my brakes, so that's why I did it braking. Could be possible with all this fine dust on the road. Keep on rolling, guys, or I use the other power of the scoot just to get around it. It's a beautiful day. It's the first tourism over here. It's summer. This is a very, very busy little town. Any sense. I could big boat. I can let my focus loosen a little bit now. The two kids in town. Always be prepared. Small kids on one side of the road, mom is at the other side of the road, and so that's where they want to go. Be careful. And if you slow down like I did, officially the kids has to stay there and give me right away. But they're kids, they don't do that. If you slow down, they think, oh, he let us go. And they will make the run for it. So always come to a full stop. Don't take zero risks with children on the road. They are children. and they live in a different world. And they do not have a good sense of speed. And if I see the amount of accidents happen with motorcycles and cars, especially next weekend when it will be 40 degrees and this weather, a lot of motorcyclists on the road, there are a lot of adults who also lack any sense of speed. We have a slight north wind. The north is about the windmill, the most right windmill. This is nice. This is pretty recent. And this was a hard part to get off the road, because a lot of people like to speed coming from the other side. It's a straight road and they all think, hey, it's a straight road, so it's a highway. It's not. You see that blue sign with the car on it. And that means autoweg. Literally translated a carway, which probably translated best as motorway. And it's allowed to drive 100 kilometers. With cars and motorcycles. I don't know if he sticked up a finger or two fingers. If you want to greet, stick out your arm so someone can see it. But some stick up one finger. That's hardly greeting. Sway out your arm. See the shiny parts on the tarmac? It's wet and it can still be a little bit frozen. So negotiate this curves with ease. Picking the darker parts of the road. It's winter, people. It's winter. Another thing in driving at winter time is your tires don't heat up properly. So in winter time the grip will always be less as in summertime, where your tires are a lot hotter. In summertime, when I should stop here, put on my glove, lay my hand on the tire, you can feel the heat. In winter time, the tire is already cold before I get my glove out, off. Make it something. My nose gets cold, so I put them up at the glove a little. And that's easier said than done. And now with the visor open, my eyes are full of tears. But I told you before, that is because the joy of riding a Sim ADX. Oh. Actually, I have to readjust the entire balaclava. Therefore, I have to put my helmet off, but maybe it will do like this. Alright, let's go again. Those are the windmills in the IJssel Lake. And that straight line you see is not the actual horizon, it's a sea dike. This helmet has built-in sunglasses, but with this bright light it's not enough. It's way not enough. So I need to wear sunglasses anyway. Thought he was greeting too. And if you want to greet properly so we can see it. The Netherlands is a flat country. Really? Yeah, it's very flat. Oh yeah, it's so flat. These hills are the last remains of the Ice Age, pushed up by the ice. The ice of the Ice Age did not retreat at once. It retreated, it came back again, it retreated a little more, it came back again, and that over thousands of years caused these hills. But I don't know all that hallelujah about the Netherlands is flat anyway. In Texas there are places that equally flat as the Netherlands, but much larger than our entire country. But also in Mongolia are plains flat as the Netherlands and as large as the Netherlands, and in Australia and actually in many places of the world. But no, the Netherlands is flat. Well, you see how flat it is here. And the camera has a wide angle lens, so I don't know if you can see it in that direction there, but you can see it's falling down. It's going into deep. That's original sea bottom. I'm just above sea level now, maybe a half a meter. And there is my camera again. I have no tools with me, it's stupid, otherwise I would tighten it a little bit more. The stupid thing is I have no protection on this camera except for the box, and I need to have a wire on it and anchor it somewhere, like I did with the camera on the helmet. Why I say helm instead of helmet? Because it's Dutch. In English it is helmet and in Dutch it's helm, and you write it almost the same. And you pronounce it almost the same. Habits. The IJssel Lake and not a cloudy sight. In summertime it's very beautiful to ride here, the landscape, but the roads here are filled with people. Now I'm almost alone. And I said that in the previous big trip too, and then some somehow, from every little corner, all cars showed up. So I must watch my tongue now. The Netherlands is flat and have only straight roads. So I assume I'm not in the Netherlands. Well, actually I'm not in the Netherlands, I'm in Friesland. All those Dutchies think that this is still a part of the Netherlands. Hell no, we even talk a different language here. Ooh, a lot of mad comments. Oh my gosh. Oops. Let's make it a full stop. Straight against the shell line. Nah, semi full stop. Alright. Indeed, that's a car riding on top of a dike, and that's the road we will follow. Oh, this is new. All kinds of artificially, it's artificial, it's not real. No nature here is real, not in this part. Here is a very good restaurant, and it looks like it is open. of cars. It will be open fairly early, by the way. I don't think the flags are out, but at the horizon, flocks of birds. It's too far away from the wide angle of the camera to see. And here we enter an ancient battleground of the Frisians against the Dutchies, coming from the other side of the lake. Back then it was a sea. I'm gonna stop here for a while and put on my electric socks. I know it's an old-fashioned way, because the system is still not complete. But next winter it will. That's it. They're already heating up. Hit this button. When you hit this button on here, then the engine shut after 1 second, 2 seconds of idling. In city traffic, it saves you a lot of fuel. All right. The first tourist already gathering. Early, very early. I smell fish. Fresh fish. car without lights. I go up north with northern winds, and that's not very handy to do. On the other hand, when we are at the highest point of a trip and going back south again, we have the winds from behind. With some little slower speeds, I can keep my chest and my arms and hands warm. And that's also an important thing of winter trips. Start straight against the wind and return with the wind from behind. This Mr. SUV does not have indicators. And that's because it's a very expensive accessory on your car. He can't afford that. All his money is gone in the SUV. Oh, his brake lights are working. Well, applaud for that. Mister, you don't have to put your indicators on here because you can't go the other way around. The road is going this way. And now throttle up with the SUV. Both feet on the pedal. No, he does not do it. By the way, this kind of boats are amazingly costly for what it is. Unbelievable. have to clean my mirrors. They're a little bit greasy, it looks like, or rain and dust. I can see, but I have seen it brighter in my mirrors. My socks are full throttle because it's the only option I have. Almost too warm. I also want to have a few heated pants, and with this rise, well, it's not really necessary to have a heated jacket. And when the scooter is complete, heated grips, I still ride without heated grips, but when I had my heated grips on now 50%, I also had warm hands. My hands are chilly, not really cold. And that's thanks to these things. But when everything is connected and heated grips are on, and in winter time there is limited light, so a 2 hour, 2.5 hour trip is a long time in winter time. And that's what I'm testing out now. I think heated pants and heated socks, not connected on the engine, on the electric system. Got some warning. Batteries might worn out. About 10 minutes to go. very ancient town of this. This was already existed in the late Roman era. Can't see anything in my mirrors, only the light. I have the sun straight in my mirrors, and with that almost in my face. A little bit leaning forward to get rid of that light. This is new, there's reflectors in the road. One bar of fuel. That meant that I would have now one blue bar and a red bar if I didn't refuel it. But like I said, I always like to start my trips with a full fuel tank. I think we will touching Harlingen and then we will go back, because there is a mist forecasted. Now Harlingen back home is about an hour ride, about half an hour to get there, so I still have some juice left in my batteries from my socks. Gorkum, the next very old town. Let's make a little detour. What the? Huh? And more windmills. The whole IJssel Lake will be one big windmill. 5 years ago you could ride here and enjoy the IJssel Lake at its fullest. But it's full of windmills, and there will be more and more and more. Horizon pollution it is. And there's the first battery. Are you still running? Yes. It's sad actually. Camera need to get out of the box. That's a crazy thing. I'm not gonna do that. With the helmet camera, I cut out this part over here so I can change the batteries. But I have to take this one off, I have to take it out of the box to change a battery. It's not gonna happen. Not today. So, within a few minutes, a few kilometers, my helmet battery will be gone. Then I can change that one. It's much easier to do actually. And for now I leave this one out. It's just a test run, setting test run this camera. In the future his placement will be more forward and more downward on the side of the rally tower, and he will have a stereo microphone on it for recording the sound of the scooter and the traffic around me. And he will be fed by either motorcycle or a big power bank which is built in the rally tower. And my helmet camera will be fed by a small 10 amp power bank on the side of the helmet. So we are helmet cam only now. He has switched to night mode. Shadow after the dike. It's way too early actually. Alright, I have changed batteries. Pardon my French. You have missed about 200 meters of the road, because it's a narrow road here, a winding road, and I needed to find a safe spot to change the battery of the camera. And now we have the reason why I make this fed by a 10 amps power bank, a small power bank on the side of the helmet. Then I do not have to do this for the whole day. Alright. We go again. You're missing 200 meters. But in summertime, when the trips are really beautiful with nice weather and some traffic, and then this problem is solved. I think the way back home will be darkness for the most part, especially when we touch Harlingen. Maybe I'm not gonna touch Harlingen, but we get it inside. A little bit similar like Essen in the last big trip. about 4-5 kilometers. And the same message as that trip is: the sun is setting, it gets cold quickly. About 1 degrees, but that will be later in the night. The temperature today was 8, and I think now it's already back to 4. And that's not a problem if you're dressed for that. But I sure could use my heated grips. My hands are a little bit chilly, not really cold. I still have control over everything. And that's the most important. But again, I don't know even the English name for it. It's Frisian. Again, a very old little town. And here are the birds, if they are visible on camera. Quite a flock. And here are some more birds in the water. I just can't turn my neck enough to catch a beautiful sunset. In summer the sun sets more in that direction over there, but they still have the dike. Before I reach the famous Dutch Afsluitdijk, I think the sun has set. We have about 50 kilometers to go, 20 kilometers. To open up a Frisian. At least my sun Frisian part. What's the name in English? I have actually 2 Frisians in this house. One is the white one, the translucent one. They're all translucent. Stupid talk. But the clear one. That's the right thing to say. The clear one, and the other one is a darker green shade. It's like sunglasses. And here they built a lot more windmills. Enjoy these countries. There are a lot of There are a lot of windmills you can see it around, and they are all popped up the last 5-6 years. Within 10 years it will be one big hell of the windmills, this entire trip. Do they deliver anything positive to the energy? No. If you want to have electric energy, go nuclear. But it's a market and there are billions to make. The same goes for all those sun panels. Thanks to our utterly corrupt government. It's totally useless. They could rather spend the money on a nuclear power plant. The ultimate plan is to make it one big industrial area. The whole Netherlands and the northern part of Germany. One big factory. So visit the Netherlands in the next 5-6 years, especially this part, because they are rapidly filling it up with industry. This was the former Amelds. Here in this factory is Trump's boat built. Right here. He has been here in front for a while. Here they make those luxury yachts for very rich people. And Mr. Trump has his yacht. I'm not allowed to go there because that's a very beautiful street. Oh, fish and chips. And it's about dinner, or not dinner time, eating time. Evening food, how you call that, I don't know. I call everything dinner. I could have eaten in a restaurant. It smelled so good. But the problem is, I must undo my socks again, unplug my socks again. I am dressed for the cold, so inside it gets hot and sweaty quickly. It is easier to do in summertime. I'm dressed a lot lighter. More windmills. 10 years ago the little church was the highest peak. Look at this. And everything you see around you will be filled with those grey, dull windmills. the sun has already set if I take a look at the light. But sometimes the sunset can be very beautiful after the sun is already gone behind the horizon. And this happens often in summer when the air is a little bit more moist, a little bit more dusty. Alright. Maybe. Now, the sun is long gone, people. Zurich. No, we are not in Sweden. But it's a place with a similar name. Now this is the reason why I have fueled up. I wanted to go to Windmarsum just before Zurich, that overpass. But then we have to go to Snake, and the bridge there is closed due to repair. Cannot get over here. With the husk I could. We could went to the left before Snake and go back via Akram, that windy road I have done in winter. You have seen that before. It was a few weeks ago, but there is not much to it when it is dark, and it will get dark, really dark now within the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. The camera still sees it a little bit better than we do. But you see I tempo up now. We hit Harlingen after all. We not only hit it, we go straight through it. It was not my plan. I have to take a little detour. A little? Quite one. Because at the last moment I remembered that the bridge was closed. The bridge just after Snake. But that's not a problem. We have plenty of fuel. Look, this is a route we can go. Let's do it. Now we don't go to Harlingen, because I had plans to go the old route from Harlingen to Leeuwarden. But a lot has changed there. Well, this is the trip, the winter trip to the alongside the IJssel Lake, the east of the IJssel Lake, from Lemmer to almost to Harlingen. We will do it again in spring, in summer. But basically it's the end of the trip now, we are going home. So we get the lighting people again, flashing lights, because they never seen LED lights before. Chinese smell. There must be a Chinese restaurant somewhere here, or someone is cooking Chinese. It's so long ago I've eaten Chinese food, real Chinese food, from a restaurant. So long ago. That's because of my diabetes. I cannot eat it very often. Only after I have eaten a lot of vegetables for a long time and some meat, and then I can have some Chinese a little bit. And here are the other sides of all the windmills, and this will be filled up too. A lot of potatoes here, and the farmers already plowed the land, you see. So it is not long before the new potatoes are planted to get more potatoes. Mr. Hurry behind me.